Welcome back to the Silver Standard. Today is Wednesday, December 24th, 2025, Christmas Eve. But while the rest of the world is hanging stockings and checking lists, the global financial system is hanging by a fraying thread. If you've been following our coverage of Black Monday and the absolute chaos in the commodity pits, you already know the score. You've seen the charts go vertical, you've heard the frantic reports from the COMEX, and you've felt that pit in your stomach as the old world begins to crack. But right now, I need you to do something incredibly difficult. I need you to stop looking at the ticker tape. Stop refreshing your price apps every 5 seconds. Because the price of silver hitting $72.70 today, while exhilarating, is just a number. It is a symptom of a dying system. The only question that matters as we barrel headfirst into 2026 is not, what is the price? The only question that matters is, do I have enough? And I'm going to tell you right now, for the vast majority of people watching this, the answer is a resounding no. For 40 years, the mainstream financial establishment, the suits paid to sell you mutual funds, index trackers, and paper promises, have lied to your face. They told you that gold and silver were just insurance. They told you to put a token 5% of your portfolio in metals and forget about it. They told you that metals don't pay a yield, that they are a pet rock, and that they don't beat inflation. That is a forensic falsehood. It is a lie designed to keep you poor, tethered to a depreciating currency while they accumulate the real collateral behind your back. Today, we are going to debunk that lie with cold, hard math. We are going to look at the real-world purchasing power of silver. We are going to show you why that 5% rule is a suicide pact in 2026. And we are going to give you the specific number, the exact ounce count, that you need to hold to survive the transition that has already begun. We are currently witnessing a phenomenon we call the Shanghai Arbitrage Collapse. For decades, the West controlled the price of metals through massive paper leverage and the COMEX. But right now, as of Christmas Eve 2025, silver is trading at a staggering $3 premium in Shanghai compared to London or New York. The arbitrage bridge, the mechanism that keeps global prices aligned, has snapped. Why? Because there is no physical metal left in the West to ship east to close that gap. The banks are trapped in a physical bottleneck, and the great reset of value has officially moved from a theory to a reality. Let's look at the scoreboard as we close out 2025. Gold and silver are experiencing their largest annual gains since 1979. They are crushing the S&P 500. They are crushing Bitcoin, which has struggled with liquidity issues all year, while metals have gone vertical. Many of you are looking at silver hitting $70 today and thinking, I missed it. It's too expensive. It's a bubble. You are looking at the chart upside down. We are not in a bubble. We are witnessing the bursting of a reverse bubble. You have to understand that for the last decade, silver was the most undervalued asset on Earth. It was the only commodity that was cheaper in 2020 than it was in 1980. But silver has 2 years of catching up to do. If you adjust the 1980 high for real-world inflation, not the fake CPI numbers the government feeds you, silver needs to be at $150 an ounce just to reach fair value. The move from $50 to $70 wasn't a spike. It was a correction to reality. The U.S. Geological Survey didn't add silver to their critical minerals list last month for fun. They did it because they ran the forensics. They saw the AI boom. They saw the military demand as the U.S. Navy enforces blockades in the Caribbean. They realized the cupboard was bare. And here is the secret the skeptics don't want you to know. Gold and silver make life cheaper. They say gold doesn't generate wealth. Wrong. Metals capture technological deflation. In 2007, a new iPhone cost about an ounce of gold. Today, with gold over $4,500, that same iPhone costs just a quarter of an ounce. While the dollar saver has to work twice as many hours to buy the same phone, the gold stacker can buy 4 iPhones for the same amount of metal they held in 2007. But an iPhone is a toy. Let's talk about something that actually matters. The roof over your head. Everywhere you go, people are screaming that they can't afford a house. In dollars, housing is a massive bubble. But in the silver standard, housing is in a depression. Between 1990 and 2006, the median U.S. home cost about 450 ounces of gold. Today, that cost has collapsed to just 95 ounces. That is a 53% decline in the real cost of housing since 2007. We are making new lows right now. If you are sitting there with dollars in a savings account trying to save for a down payment, you are running up a down escalator that is moving faster than you can climb. But if you are saving in gold and silver, the house is getting cheaper every single day. This is why the allocation question is so critical for 2026. You aren't just buying metal to look at it. You're buying it so that one day you can trade a small stack of coins for a 4-bedroom house free and clear. So how much do you need? At the Silver Standard, we believe in the 5 and 200 rule. Every single household needs a baseline survival stack of 5 ounces of gold and 200 ounces of silver. Back in 2021, that stack cost about $14,000. Today, it's worth nearly $35,000. If you listen to us, then your 3 months of coverage has turned into 6 months of financial runway. Why 200 ounces of silver? Because silver is the transaction metal. If we enter a period of hyperstagflation, you aren't going to shave filings off a gold coin to buy groceries. You are going to use silver. Why 5 ounces of gold? Because gold is concentrated wealth. It is your savings account. It is the down payment on that house when the dust settles. Is it harder to get to that number today? Yes. Costs twice as much. But the cost of not having it is now infinite. We are entering a period of volatility clustering. 2026 will be a cluster of chaos. You will see weeks where silver drops $10 in a day as hedge funds are forced to liquidate to cover margin calls. These are not crashes. They are shakeouts. The market is designed to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient. This is why your allocation must be physical. Physical metal has no margin call. If silver drops to $50 tomorrow, you still own the same number of ounces. You only lose if you sell back into a dying currency. The exit strategy is not to cash out. The exit strategy is to rotate. You rotate from overvalued paper to undervalued metal, and then you wait. You wait until that gold to silver ratio, which is currently screaming for a slingshot move toward 40, gives you the signal. When 500 ounces of silver can buy you a rental property free and clear, that is when you trade. When 10 ounces of gold can buy you 10 acres of productive farmland, that is when you swap. You use the dollar only as a mechanism of transfer, never as a store of value. Finally, you must understand the war for the global monetary system. We are seeing the total de-dollarization of the world. BRICS nations and oil producers have realized they don't need to launch missiles to defeat the West. They just need to drain the COMEX. When China buys oil from the Saudis, they aren't keeping yuan. They are converting that surplus into physical bullion immediately. This is the shadow bid that has been under the market all year. They saw what happened to Russia's reserves. They learned that if your wealth is in dollars, it is not your wealth. It is a permission slip from the US Treasury. And as we approach 2026, the deadline is the central bank digital currency. They are building a digital panopticon to replace cash. In a CBDC world, your money is not your property. It is a database entry they can program with an expiration date or a carbon quota. In that world, silver is liberty. It is the only anonymous, physical money left. The window is closing. We've seen the Shanghai gap. We've seen the limit up halts. A day is coming. Maybe next week, maybe next month, where the buy button will be grayed out and the dealers will be empty. On that day, you will be divided into two classes. Those who have and those who have not. Do not be the person calling me in 6 months asking where to buy silver. Secure your sovereign reserve now. Measurement your wealth in ounces, not paper. Stay informed. Stay stacked. We'll see you on the other side of the reset.